Hey everybody, welcome to another After Effects CS6 tutorial. My name is Buddy Blackford, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you a bit about the rendering previews within the comp here. And those can be found right about here in this lightning looking button, and we're going to go over what all these options here mean. And right before I started making this tutorial, I had to go pick up some gas for the lawnmower, the person who comes and mows our lawn. And I was backing up with the car, and our neighbor decided to put a wheelbarrow behind like where I pull out of the garage, and it's a downward hill, and I couldn't even see the wheelbarrow, and I backed up and it put a scratch basically along my entire side of my car. And that made me really mad, so I'm gonna just take it out on everybody in this tutorial. I'm just kidding. I'll just do it the tutorial as I do normally, but I wanted to share my sucky day with you. But everything else around the day has been good, so I guess I got that going for me. So let's get into figuring out what these different preview modes mean. So up here in the top right under my renderer, we'll notice I have Ray Trace 3D on, and I've got a camera, some 3D text, and a light going on here. If you need to learn how to create 3D text, just check back a few tutorials, and I went over that in a previous tutorial, obviously. Currently, I am on Fast Draft. As you can tell up here in the top right, you can see what mode I'm in, preview mode. And Fast Draft is a quick way to see your 3D and to like be able to move around in this scene. So I've got this little animation going on here with this 3D text, and I'm able to preview it pretty much in almost real time by moving the slider along, and it's not taking any time to render or anything like that. So if I come down here into wireframe, this is going to be the basic of the basics. It's just a box, and that's pretty much all you're going to see. You're not going to see any colors or anything. You're just going to see everything in a wireframe mode. Now if I had some actual geometry in here that I pulled in from like a 3D program or anything like that, I'd see the actual geometry. Like for example, if I had a chain link, I would see each different like chain, but it would be in a wireframe mode. Now I wouldn't be able to see what it looked like in actual 3D. This is the fastest way, but it's also the least quality, and you can't always tell what's going on. Now let's go to draft here, and draft, it takes a second to render. So I'm going to pause it real quick, and once we get to the render, I'll let you know. Now that the draft has rendered, it's going to have to render every time you move your current time indicator. With the draft, however, you can see different things like shadows and other things and reflections and things like that. But I mean, you're not gonna have the most crisp edges and sharpness. I'll switch between draft and fast draft real quick. As you can see, I'm on fast draft now, and we lost the shadows, but we have the same crispness on the edges. So let's try to move in draft, and I'll show you what happens. You go to move, and it updates after it has to render. And you can tell it's rendering by this yellow bar that goes across the screen. Now we're going to head over here to adaptive resolution. Now in adaptive resolution, when you let go of the time slider here, it'll render, but it'll also render in the final quality. When you go to move your current time indicator, it moves it in a downgraded resolution, so you can see what's going on, but it's very downgraded. And then when you release, it's gonna take time to render, but then you're going to be able to see what's going on. So I think that the adaptive resolution is way better than draft, so I don't really see too much reason to even use draft. So let's go to the next one, which is final quality, and this is going to be rendered in full quality every time you move. So when I try to move here, it's not going to be able to show me the motion path. It's kind of like draft. Then when I let go, it's going to take time to render, and then it's going to be in full quality. So I kind of feel like adaptive resolution is the best one for you to just stick on. So I'm going to head over to adaptive resolution, especially when you're working with this 3D. Now you can change the settings of the adaptive resolution down here in your fast previews preferences. So if we click on that, it's going to bring us to our preferences panel, just the same as if you went to edit preferences and clicked on the preview section. Now you can change your adaptive resolution to either half resolution, quarter, eighth, or 16th when you're moving around.